Now, let's say we want to add a legend. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to make two plots, one with temperatures. They have values of temperatures. So let's say plot. We want to use this data set, and I'm gonna color this, and I'm gonna use these symbols, right? And let's say now we want to add points. We already know how to add points to our plots, but let's say we want when pressure is half the pressure. And now let's say we want here to be just pressure, right? And say we want now to color this as blue. But now let's say we're simply just going to change the shape of this and say we use these small triangles, and let's run this. So in order to demonstrate how we add the legend so that we can see as we are adding, I'm going to zoom out. So this should be fine. Okay. So now I'm going to use the function legend, and I want this legend to be top. Let's say top left. Let's run this. So we see that if we simply just specify the position, this raises an error in R telling us that legend is missing with no default, right? That is because we have to specify the other arguments. So how can we do that? Let's say, for example, we want to first add the name, right? So in order to add the name, I'm going to use the vector that is specify the name. So let's say, for example, in this case, we have this to be a point, and then this other one is going to be what? Another point, but now half. Let's say this is points 2, and then let's call this point 1. All right, so let's try to run this. So you observe now that we have named our legend. So we have named the plot in our legend as point 1 and point 2. So now we have to decide which one should be called point 1 and which one should be called point 2. So the first one that we want, remember that the order matters, right? So how can we differentiate? We're going to differentiate by the shapes, right? So we're going to come here and say point 1, we want it to be the red circles. So we're going to say it's 19. And here for the second one, we're going to input 17. So let's run this. You observed that we have now added the shapes near the names. So remember that the order matters. What if we came in here and said that this here should be 19 and this here should be 17? So you observe that point 1 will now represent the blue triangles, and point 2 will represent the circle. So how can we now add the colors? Remember, the order matters. So we have to specify a vector of colors. Okay, so remember that the order matters. So the first one is what? Is the triangles, which are what? Blue in colors. Blue in color, right? And then is going to be red. And if we run this, you observe that we say now point 2 will represent the red circles, and then point 1 will represent what? The blue triangles. Should have at least said points, but should have at least said plot. But now this is a demonstration of how you can add a legend. Remember that if here you simply just specify the position and you do not specify the name in that legend, you will get an error that we observed. Then the next thing is to specify how do you want to name your legend. So what is each plot represent? So in this case, we could have simply just said here, these are the blue triangles. And then when you come here, we simply just say these are the red circles. Right? And if you run this, you observe that we have now changed the names to just be something that is quite meaningful. And then come here and you specify the color. Remember that the order matters. So if maybe in your legend you said blue and you said red, what do you think would have happened? We have now said blue triangles, but now we're saying the color is red, which does not make sense. So you observe here, you say blue triangles, but we have now added the red color, and say red circles, we have added the blue color. So remember that order matters. So this one is red and this is blue. Let's run this, and this is now our own legend that has been named accordingly.